Jessie. I've been a full-time artist for 10 years and thought it about time I start sharing my painting techniques and adventures. Subscribe to join me every week for a window into my art life. Hi and welcome back to another episode of Art Life. This week's episode is going to be slightly different. We're not going to be looking at my studio practice this week, but rather a filmic portrait that we made of one of my close friends, Phoebe Hicks, who I highly recommend researching on her website and Instagram. The links will be below. She is an amazing portrait artist and we've basically made a video about the beauty of her practice. So please enjoy, without further ado, a portrait of a portrait artist.
My name is Phoebe Hicks. I'm a portrait artist. I work in oils and charcoal, and there's maybe more to it than that. I was very lucky. I've grown up with parents that were very, there was no pressure in what my profession was going to be. And so it was aged 4, I'm pretty sure it would be 4, Mrs. Woodley's class, that I was asked what you'd like to be when you grow up. I genuinely wanted to be a portrait artist from my earliest memory. I was very lucky to be fully supported by teachers throughout my education that took me seriously. And even though, there was probably plenty of wobbles along the way, plenty of pictures that they could have gone, sorry, she wants to go to art school. Nobody ever made me doubt myself. I guess I permanently felt like the wind was behind me, and I was, the end goal throughout my education was having a classical training in Florence. I mean, it's not what every 11-year-old is thinking. That's the thing, it's one of the oldest professions, that and prostitution, and my parents did have a preference. I do feel like it's quite unfair how art is seen as a non-job, and I think I am traditional in a sense that I would like to have a family and I would like to be around. Seeing how my mum was, that she had the career and the family life, seeing her create and do these beautiful watercolours, it made me realise it's doable. I feel like my drawings are something that I just feel I know when to stop with them, much more so than I do with a painting. With painting, you're spinning many more plates. The medium is obviously drying, so it can merge. You've got colour and depth. When you're working with colour, you're not just working with lightness and form, because you're now working with warm and cools. It's just much more complicated. I think maybe that I'm better with the fact that paper has a limit. Paper can probably only take so much. There are things I think that I don't make very easy for myself. I think one of those is probably how I treat my brushes. You're meant to wash them in terps, I'm meant to wash them in soap, I'm meant to cover them in spit and wrap them up. But I think underneath it all I'm a fairly lazy cow that can't be asked. It's a bit like, do you do the washing up every time, or do you occasionally leave it in the sink and then do it in the morning? That's the things I think. Although I do the washing up, I do leave effectively the equivalent of my brushes, leave them in the sink until the morning. I think probably I've had favourite paintings and they've been mid-painting, because I'm also falling in love with where it could go and I'm really excited with where it's at. the harder you tried to hit the ball, the more likely you are to miss. And I find that with painting, that the harder I try, the more I over push, the less natural it is. But, you know, there isn't somebody that can stand behind you and tap you on the shoulder and go, yeah, it's finished, it's done. You have to make that decision. I know. I try to force myself into using bigger brushes, and I go, no, use a bigger brush. Because the smaller you go, the smaller the marks, the more broken up paint strokes are. So these broken paint strokes are not going to be describing a smooth plane of the face. I think Sargent would do that. He would work with big brushes, he would go to smaller brushes, and at the end he would work with big brushes again. And it gives it that fresh, just done, slap it on look. Every face is going to be gorgeous to paint. The things that really pull me in are sort of beauty in perhaps, yeah, an overflushed cheek or sort of a redness. You know, Sarah has these beautiful hooded eyes and this strength. I mean, she's naturally a beauty. But those things, the things that make somebody unique are, I think, the things that are most precious, I think, to an artist. It's a lot about the person as well. So I think the people that you end up being drawn to, I think, can often be quite quiet people because there's more to discover, maybe. I think with everything going on right now, I think these portraits for NHS heroes has been good. I did a portrait of a nurse, yes. It was a lovely link of bringing back that really old tradition of a portrait is to kind of honour someone and commemorate someone. My mum used to always say she would fall in love with her current painting. It would be a very short love affair. It would then be that she would do the next one, and that would be her new love. And I find I do that, but then I fall in love with them, and then I fall out of love with them, and then I fall in love with them when I've had a bit of distance, because I can see it as a whole more. I'm not seeing it as which bit I've worked on, which bit I want to work on more. But I find like when you see younger artists, their work is tighter. I feel like as they get older, their work always loosens up. So here's to seeing how my work evolves.
I love it all. Is this the right colour? Bit dark. Would you like it a bit lighter?
No, I think that is perfect.
Thank you, Phoebe.
That's fabulous.
Thank you.
Cheers. Bike machine that I don't use. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Who is this? Who is this? It's terrible. Who's this here? Oh, it's a little tail. No, it's here. I'm Phoebe Cripps. I'm tired. I'm Phoebe Cripps and I'm an artist. I'm Phoebe Cripps. Hi. I'm terrible at this.